The whole thing, but then you're talking about a.
We've seen it, especially like this is what they call a bread and butter community. You know, and you got a working class family. Right. We've seen a lot of them where they just kept up the garage door, and because people forget, it's just like everybody that was walking in. A lot of people didn't even realize that was the garage. They just looked at it as a family room. So they forgot that there was a garage door on the other side. And that's something else that you need to consider. Are they really going to notice or be bothered by the garage door on the outside?
I think what she was talking about is it's all banned up.
Yes. What?
I think what she was talking about is because it's all banned up.
I'm talking about the curb appeal when you walk out.
You know, it's not
but again, but you're saying that it's something that they may not care about.
Yeah, exactly. How many of you realized that was, when you walked into that room, did you first realize there was the garage door on the outside?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, see everybody's saying no. Okay. So a lot of people don't even realize it and just saw that, oh good, this is the family room, and they weren't even thinking about a garage.
Hey Woody, if I buy the house, can the picture stay?
Make me an offer.
About the roof, Woody. Did they take care about the roof?
About the roof? The roof, somebody had put on a new roof a few years ago when a tree had fallen through the house. They did a lousy job, if you noticed, with the decking, and it's all wavy, and it looks like hell. I built in a few dollars into this budget to actually crawl up inside of there and try to put some blocking in between each truss to kind of push the worst of the waves up. But the shingles are good, so I did not want to tear off the shingles and incur an expense of how much? So anyway, we haven't gotten to that yet, and I don't know if it'll come back to haunt me if we don't do it or what. But that's a good segue into what I want to point out here is all the things that I screwed up on. And tell me if, when we get through this, if it was still an okay deal to do. Okay, first of all, remember me telling you about the steel bathtub and how I noticed it at the last minute. I mean, it had this beautiful tile all around it, and I was going to save the tile, but I found a little bit of rust, and I pushed my thumb right through the bathtub. That was this house. That's that bathroom right over there. Now, first thing that we did when we came in here, of course, was to tear out the old kitchen, and the water was not on, so we had to turn the water on. And, you know, capped off all the sink and all that stuff. We noticed, you know what? This plumbing doesn't work. There was a little trickle of cold water coming out, and we couldn't tell what was happening with the hot water. So we had to tear open that whole wall there and found a plumbing nightmare. Just, I mean, if you can envision a plumbing nightmare, that was it right there. You know what a manifold is? A plumbing manifold? Has anybody heard of that? A plumbing manifold is when the main line, where the main line comes into the house, it comes up in a spot. And then from there, it branches off. One goes to the water heater, one goes to the cold water bathroom over there, one goes to the bathroom over there. You know, so it makes a manifold where a whole bunch of pipes in it. Every one of those pipes was rotten right where it goes through concrete. You're supposed to put some sort of a collar around the pipes where it runs up through the concrete. Of course, the termites use that as a highway, which is a problem all in itself. But if you don't have that, the lye in the concrete, or
right, correct.
Yes, it corrodes and it turns into just a soupy god-awful mess. So, anyways, we had to. I didn't have the budget in here for that. Opened the wall and was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? So we, you know, nothing you can do except rebuild it all. So we, you know, which is not too big of a deal. Open it up. And running all through the pipes and everything, got it all rigged up. The water heater's over here, and still the hot water didn't work. I mean, there's no water coming out. So what's the deal? So we checked to make sure there's water going to the water heater. The water heater looks fairly new, but there's nothing coming out of the water heater. It's like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Well, we all scratched our heads for about an hour, wondering if something was wrong with this hot water heater. And as we're disassembling it, I looked at this little, it's a plumbing part that goes into the water heater that's called a nipple. And I looked at the nipple and it's got a little plastic sheath in it, and I thought, oh my gosh,
Big close up of hot water.
it's a check valve. It cost about $1.50, and it was installed upside down. $1.50 part, and how much did that cost to locate that problem? Well, we had 3 or 4 guys scratching their heads here for a couple hours. That was $100 scratch your head process. So anyways, that was just the first of it. Okay, so we get that all straightened out, and then I stick my thumb through the bathtub here, and okay, the tub has to go. The tub has to go. The tile has to go. Yeah. How do you get the tub out of there?
Break a wall, right?
Fortunately, we had all the cabinets out here, and this is the wall with the plumbing in it. But just by dumb luck, the plumbing was not in the exact spot that we had. If it was the plumbing was in the spot there, we would have had to have trashed the wall on the other side and taken that tub out the other way. So anyways, go through that whole process. We got, the bathtub, the tile, plus the stuff we were going to do to the bathroom anyways. So I thought I was going to be able to cheap out. Remember, how much was it to do 2 bathrooms?
5,000. 2,500.
2,500.
Right.
But I was hoping to cheap out on this one and maybe only spend $800 to $1,000. Well, it's no such luck. Right back up to that $2,500 cost, not in the budget. So there's the inevitable other things like that. For example, when we bought the house, there was actually a nice carpet here, and we thought we could salvage the carpet. In a construction zone, especially where the main highway is, and you stepped out, oh my God, it was awful. So we thought, well, what the heck? We had a little bit of a budget for tiling here. Let's just incur an additional cost and tile the rest of it. We're going to do it like a foyer too. So that was not in the budget. There was an extra cost. So those are all killers. I mean, that probably adds up to $3,000 or $4,000 extra of stuff that they had planned on.
So what do you think you're missing? Just not figuring that in?
This was the bathroom he was talking about, right?
Because this is the art of renovation versus new construction. It just so happened that there was this porch, vinyl wall porches, the window porch kind of thing, with all these nasty windows all around this deck out here. And we did have a budget in there. I didn't know what I was going to do to dress it up, but it was dark and nasty and dreary and lousy windows, and it blocked off all the light from coming in here. So I think